Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 4v4 ladder match on the map Project Tabula, which is a 20 by 20. Let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with blue team up here in the north side of the map, starting with the rearguard air player of Naberwasser, going first land as a Cybran in blue. South of him, we have at-8 or AT-AT-8, depending on how you say it, from Star Wars. He is going purple. He's going Seraphim in purple, going first land. To the west in navy blue, we have Katawonga going first land as a Cybran. Again, he's going first land Cybran. And last but not least, for Team 1, let me scroll a little bit more. We have Iruma-kun going first land as a UEF in teal. Go ahead and introduce red team here down in the south, starting with the rearguard air player of Zoom _ going first land as the Seraphim, again in red. To the west, we have the Crimson Seraphim player of Biodream going first land. In the middle, we have the orange player of Furry going first land as a UEF. And last but not least, for Team 2 for the game, we have Kinder 5129 going first land, most likely second air in yellow as a Seraphim. So again, we have 3 Seraphim and 1 Aeon for Team 2. And for Team 1, we have 2 Cybrans and a UEF and a Seraphim. So Team 1 is missing the Aeon tech, and Team 2 is missing the UEF and Cybran tech. So Team 2 has to be aware of that telemeasure capabilities of the 2 Cybrans, just in case they decide to use that maneuver. Again, as you can see in the map, the whole section, I guess, of the map is illuminated, which means planes, aircraft, one that can go all the way around. So it'll be best to put up some SAMs along the edges here to make sure you don't get any flybys. As well as they can't build anything. I mean, I can't tell. I mean, I guess you could, but why would you? Like, the water isn't really that beneficial. And as you can see, it's not split for the background. It is split down the middle, diagonal right at about here. And again, as well, it's pretty much going to be focused on land and air, considering there's no water here in the middle. We have a lot of mechs here to grab. They're dotted everywhere on the map. So a lot of generated eco. There's also a huge amount of mass just spread around the entire map. So lots of reclaim for players to scoop up. We have the comms of Katawonga moving in on this 3 mechs expansion here down in the south next to that giant rock of 300 mass. We have the comm of Biodream also trying to establish some sort of front line here, securing this hillside, allowing for travel of land units into the middle section of the map. Would not be surprised to see a similar thing happening on the east side. We have Kinder grabbing this upper plateau section. As you can see, good defensible position. The units kind of funnel into this choke point right here. However, you also have to be aware of T1 RD could be sitting on the edge and lob shells that way as well. We have the comm of Curly in the middle, trying to establish a front line, most likely about here, allowing him to allow travel of units all the way across to the other side of the map without being shot at on the way there. We also have the comm from Naberwasser, the air player, moving to the front line, looking to get an early land push. We have a mech marine trying to take out this hydrocarbon, but it looks like the comm is going to shoot that down very early. We have a couple THAMs, these medium tanks outbound to their opponent, trying to secure this mass point. And again, the only way up is with these central hillside ramp. I wouldn't say ramps because they're not really ramps, but for lack of a better word, ramps. And there's one, of course, here, the 2 here, and the 1 here. So, you know, you can pretty much see that. I do like the map designers. They made these edges around the cut away in the ground a lot easier to see. Oh, pardon that. To allow you to see that from the, you know, the full zoomed out I wouldn't say map, but full zoomed out view. Comms of both Biodream and Katawanga exchanging fire. Katawanga trying to chase down the comm of Biodream. We have units for both players kind of just hovering around around their respective comms. We do see units moving out to help support Katawanga. He also does know, of course, Neverwasser is in the back coming into support. Wouldn't be surprised to see Biodream either retreat or try to go for and engage with his units as well. On the east side, not a whole lot of action. There's a couple Mech Marines coming in, but there are some THAMs in defense here, as well as we have a couple units out here to this middle section of the east side, ensuring that there is no potential run-bys or any aggression that way as well. This is also split, as you can see, so literally the only way across is with this little choke point here, right here, unless you go all the way around, of course. We have the comm of Biodream under heavy assault from the two Cybern comms here from Team 1. Biodream has dropped him below 2k, and it looks like he is going to be the first casualty. As long as the units out from Team 1 walk him down. Probably, most likely, sub 1000. Comm is going to die. Here, a couple more shots into the chassis, and there it goes. That is the first kill on the cards of the game in favor of Team 1, meaning it is now a 4v3 in favor of Team 1. The player Biodream was the second to lowest player on the team for Team 2, so again, they didn't lose their highest rated player, but they did lose a player nonetheless, dropping that APM and all of the like. It is a full share game, allowing all of this infrastructure to transfer to the highest rated player of Zoom. And again, his eco accelerating a little bit faster, of course, because of that added infrastructure. And in terms of eco, it's pretty much tied for the most part. We have about a couple mass differentials, so very early on, not a huge deal. And again, total mass accrued, it's hovering probably most likely about 500 or so mass. So again, not the end of the world. Very easily recoverable from that. We have an upgrade for 2 comms going down. One for Katawanga here on the western side. It's the speed and range. And one for the Seraphim comm of AT-AT-8. Again, a gun, speed, and range. That's almost finished for him. And almost, it's at least not almost, but at least it's been started. He is getting support from these Mantises. Again, I mentioned this in the last cast that I did. Mantises have the engineering suite on their chassis, allowing for some T1 NG engineering power to be on the cards. This is going to accelerate Katawanga's progress to completing that upgrade and going to allow him to prove more of a offensive comm here in the western side of the map. We have Redrone Ore. What this does is it allows nearby units to regen their health in a, I don't remember the exact aura. I think it's the dark, no, I think it's the dark yellow. I can't remember. Answer down in the comments. I know it's definitely not the bright red, because that's vision, and then the red is the actual attack range. I think it's the, like, it's one of these two, and I don't know. Answer down in the comments if you do. I'd greatly appreciate it. T2, please, Curly, looking like he is T2, please. Okay, but that's two. I don't know why it's referencing himself. And it's saying give it to me, please. I need a T2 engineer. Good to see that tech being shared. Took me a second to figure out what that message was saying. We have an attack out in the west. Let's go ahead, look at the attack out in the center as well. Lots of T1 PD, some T2 PD mixed in there as well. We have the comm of AT-AT-8 in the yellow, and he does have that upgrade on his comm. We also have a T2 upgrade for Curly as well, so a lot more hit points for him. In the west, we have Katawanga attacking the Team 1 units out from Zoom. Again, his comm is all the way to the front line. That, again, he is the rearguard air player for this game. And these T2PD kind of having a hard time hitting the comm of Katawanga. You can see how it kind of clips the environment right there. You got to be aware of that when you plant your PD down. Looks like the comm of Curly was able to stop the assault from AT-AT. He's going to fall back. Again, Team 1 is pretty much in control of this middle section of the map. You could argue that it's kind of half and half on this eastern side between the two teams. But looks like Team 1 in the north has a couple of these tridents out and a couple missile launchers as well. There are some Team B, a couple pauses going down to ensure that these missiles don't get anywhere as well. Kinder is just getting a T2 shield generator, making this a proper fire base up here in the north. I guess east, this would kind of be northeast. We have the comm of Catawanga and a huge Team 1 force overrunning that position of Zoom, which was once a below dream. I read that as bio dream. I do apologize. The L looks like an I. We have Team 1 forces, these Zui, as well as some Thams trying to push back those Cybern forces, but it looks like the comm of Catawanga with that gun upgrade is going to be able to do a decent amount of damage. A couple Ilshis, those T2 walking PD are proving to be somewhat annoying for the comm of Catawanga. Unfortunately, his forces retreat. I don't know why. I mean, he is going to get a lot of veterancy for his comm, but you are putting a comm in a dangerous situation with no support. But then they, I guess, come back again. Maybe he's trying to lure the T1 forces out would be my guess. But again, he was able to as well split some forces off, taking out that Mechs, and then going along this western side, taking out the next Mechs. Would not be surprised to see them take out another one and then keep going southward and just keep going until they are stopped. A very good play by the comm of Catawanga, ensuring that his main force is tying up the enemy's force while his secondary force goes for some economic damage. But it looks like in terms of economy, Team 2 is actually in the lead now. Their total master crude is still behind by about 4K, but keeps going back and forth. It was higher, then it's not. That must have been reclaim related. That must have just been reclaim related. Looks like there's a nano repair upgrade going down for AT-AT, ensuring that they regen up nice and quick. We have a strat bomber, this Revenant out from the air player of, I was going to say Catawanga. It's not Catawanga. It's Naberwasser, taking out two mechs there for the secondary base of Zoom. Looks like that Revenant's going to come in and go for this core mass here for the orange player of Curly. Takes out 3 of the core mass, plus a shield that was almost done, and a mass storage. Going for another bomb. Gets it off just in time. And is able to land, taking out those 2 mechs. Assist. I don't think they were assisting the factory in terms of... Well, maybe they were. It's hard to... I think they were. And again, another feature of FAF is adjacency bonuses. If production buildings are next to structures that require power or mass, it reduces the cost and it sometimes increases fire rate and efficiency as well. Catawanga looks like they're having some energy troubles. No, I guess it's energy to maybe for overcharge, maybe? I don't exactly... Oh, going for the upgrade, I guess. They're getting a stealth upgrade that's over half done. That will provide a decent offensive and defensive capabilities if they need to run away. These missile launchers out from the purple comm of AT-AT starting to overwhelm this forward operating position of Curly. He does have some of those Aeon volcanoes, those T2 missile defenses. However, they probably aren't far enough forward for those missiles to be distracted by them, because by the time that missile launches, those little flare ball thingamajigs are already dissipated. We have movement out here on the east side. Looks like we have some Mongoose, those T2 Gatling bots. Long range, but very weak, so you got to keep them in the back line, trying to push on the forces out from Kinder in this eastern side. He looks like he's also trying to counter with his own missile launchers as well. These are obviously cheaper than the missile launcher stationary installations. Trying to get a run by on the cards, but these Ilshis out from Kinder are going to hinder that movement a lot and pretty much prevent all of this T1 and T2 spam from making it anywhere crucial. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it looks like we have Katawonga trying to wall off that western approach, denying Curly from moving his forces westward, and we have units out from AT-AT restricting movement on the eastern flow. So pretty much hemming in Curly to only go backward or retreating to this further back position. More and more missile launcher spam starting to be a problem here on this eastern side. However, more and more TMDs being spammed up to counter said missile spam. But it's pretty much a double-edged sword of, oh, if you use a lot of it, your opponent's going to build more of the defenses to counter it, but then you're going to have to build more, and your opponent's going to do more defenses, and it's just kind of this, like, constant battle. We do have on the western side a huge squadron of these Spectre T2 gunships out from the air player of Zoom, and they have the comm of Katawonga in their sights, and it's going to be a kill. He cannot get out in time, and boom. Kill on Katawonga drops this game to a 3v3 with no advantage in terms of players still alive. But again, we have another section of those forces originally from Katawonga going after more of those resourcing options out from Team 2. Transfer of control of these units on the western side has been given to AT-AT. He's going to be heading the defense on this west and central side. Again, that leaves more of the focus of the air to Nabarwasser in the back. Nice split of responsibilities is definitely more effective versus trying to manage everything. I'm surprised to see Curly not inherit the stuff from his deceased comrade from Dream. Gun speed and range going down for Zoom. That's gonna finish and allow him to bat away this incoming and hostile force out from Team 1, the purple player. I guess Katawonga originally, but now it's purple. So we have a run by on the cards here from this eastern approach. Went all the way around, taking out mass points along the way. That's only a T1. It's not super crucial. I'd go after the T2 as well because those are obviously worth more. You can see they produce 6 mass versus the 2 mass per second. We have the comm of Iruma-kun going in, trying to deal as much damage as they can to this run by. Probably should have brought this in a little bit closer in this direction. Go after this full ring of masses for the air player. Slow down the air production, allowing for more, I guess, more damage economically wise. And again, Nabarwasser is the highest player in the game. On Team 1, the highest player in the game is Zoom. It is a 99%. It's very close to perfectly balanced, but again, you have the highest rated player of the game, 1500, and the lowest rated player on the opposite team. Usually you see that with the highest and the lowest, but just depends on how the balance algorithms work. Again, I'm not privy to that information. I'm assuming it just tries to do its best to balance, but it's not always perfect. So, and that's why I love the FAF community, because if something isn't perfect, if something isn't working right, there's always updates, there's always improvements. It's never just we're stuck with it. It's a desire from everyone to keep making this game better and better as time moves along. Again, base wars, at least in the middle and the eastern side, are in full effect. Not a lot of ground being made on either side. A huge air force out from Zoom hovering on this eastern side. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some strat bombers or anything. There aren't realistically any SAMs. There's ASFs in the area, but there aren't really a whole lot here to really deter any bombers of the like. We have a potential run by on the cards out from Zoom, cutting through the middle of the map, avoiding this heavy T2 battery, PD battery specifically. There's a tactical missile defense. Probably would like to see a couple more of those. There's a T2 radar as well, providing that knowledge for those missiles to launch their fiery darts. Again, all of these Ilshis just pushing in, trying to do as much damage as they can, going after the economic resources of AT-AT. We have some T1 PD being produced, trying to cut off avenues of attack, forcing these units to move in on these T2 PD, and engineers trying to hurriedly get that T2 PD up and running. There's just too much incoming fire, and the damage out from these servers are not a whole lot to really contest against. We are seeing some T3 loyalists that more damage off of those cannons, as well as the EMP death that happens when, of course, you know, the hit points hit 0. But those loyalists are being produced pretty quickly, but more and more PDs being spanned up as time goes on, so these Ilshis are starting to be diminished slowly but surely. They're going after the T3 HQ. I don't believe they're going to get it. No, they won't. There's only a couple left, and it's not really going to matter at the end of the day. Now, the column of Iruma over here on the east, having some units over here in tow just in case Kinder does the same kind of maneuver, trying to go around that eastern side, that eastern flank. We have invasion from AT-AT here on the southwest side. We have a ton of T1 and T2 factories being spammed up to produce a large land force. That's pretty much going to prevent any more incursions from his opponent, from Team 1. Missiles being launched, of course, all the time. Need that TMD constantly being produced. In the backline, air grid starting to be bigger and bigger as production is primarily focused, as well as there's a secondary player of Curly going for that air grid as well. We have some bombers out from him as well. Again, good to see that. They're already starting to stack up. If you notice that there's not really going to be a lot of progress in, let's say, one area of the game, let's say land, switch up production. Try to assist maybe a naval player if Navy was a thing, or go into the air game. You know, try to help out defenses or offensive capabilities in another way, rather than just keep throwing the same resources at the same problem the entire time. We do have a lot of these Ilshis taking out this defensive line out from AT-AT. A lot of those PD are now gone. All those PD are gone. There are a couple of those zappers, at least one of them still online, with a couple of these anti-air flak cannons. I don't know if this was a accident, but it's not super smart to just walk by T1 units by a base, and you have this little gap allowing units to go that way. Because if you wall off a section entirely, units will just go like the other way. But if you do some sort of artificial choke point, you can slow down the enemy, or in this case your own forces, and deal a lot more damage to them while they're trying to approach. It's like tower defense games are a very good example of that, where like you hinder your opponent, or at least the AR, whoever else you're facing, into a narrow kill box, and then you just sit there and you watch them all just dissipate. Otham's on the front line. The calm of Irma is dropping into the yellow, sub 5,000 hit points. These siege tanks should be focusing down the calm. I don't know why they're not. There is some artillery as well in the backline, and sniper bots as well. But those Othams are taken out. A couple Mongees still being used by Irma as well. Again, very good long-range cannons, but of course they are super weak. You got to be aware of that. Another band of Ilshis tries to push through the base of AT-AT on this western side, but they'll be satisfied with going with economic damage versus production damage. Artillery just constantly being rained in from this fire base of Kinder, trying to push Iruma back. He is now dropped into the red, a little above 3,000 hit points. There's now more Mongees starting to be a problem, but again, these Otham Sea Saints are tanky given the fact that they are tanks. But again, you can just see all the hit points being shed off of those tanks just from a couple of those Mongees. So not to underestimate the Mongees by any means, but you just got to keep them behind units that can tank damage. We have a couple Titans as well. So T3 is now starting to be a focus for Aruma as well. T1 bombers overhead. I don't really know what they're going for. Maybe they're going for these mobile shield generators. Don't really do hardly any shield damage though. I do like this idea of using mobile shield generators as a way to protect installations. They aren't as strong, but you can move them. So if you attack forward, if you like move forward, the shields can go with you. And if you retreat, the shields also go with you. So just providing more survivability to these land forces out from Indo. I do like that approach. Again, nothing beats these shield generators. These primary ones, these stationary ones. But in terms of survivability, but you know, mobility and versatility is also important too. That's pretty much the motto of the Cyberns with their Salem class destroyers walking on land. Just the versatility is definitely important in this game and something you got to keep aware of. We are at the 25-minute mark. If you've been enjoying the cast so far, please like and comment down below who do you think is going to win. And it is a 3v3. 2 players have died so far. We have this huge band of Ilshis and T1 units out for Zoom. And again, if you're not subscribed, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. I'm almost at 200 as of recording. I think I'm about 4 or 5 away. Again, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Almost going to hit 200. And when I hit 250 specifically, I'll do another one of those community posts asking for all of y'all's suggestion for that cast. Oh, apologies for that. I clicked my mouse and didn't mean to do that. And that T1 and T2 force retreating in the sight of these loyalists and bricks as well. So again, the brick wall, as they are sometimes called when they're in large numbers. I mean, they hit like a brick wall, and they have a lot of hit points, and durability of a brick wall. We do have an experimental built from AT-AT, this chicken bot, the Yathana. And there's some wreckage, some reclaim that needs to be scooped up by either players. And you can see that chicken bot just kind of walking, just kind of hanging out. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. There aren't a whole lot of defenses to deter this chicken bot. So again, there are a decent amount of awesome siege tanks. But again, that chicken bot has 3 different types of attacks. A rapid fire cannon, a medium fire cannon, and a slow moving AoE. Pretty much. I wouldn't say bomb, but burst. You see that does some AoE, and the slow one takes out 2 Autumn siege tanks in 1 shot. And we also have some PD in the back line. These Autumns might be enough. As long as they don't group up, they should be fine. And we also have the, largest flight of T1 bombers I've seen, at least this game. I've seen obviously a lot bigger. We have more coming in all the time. ASFs being deployed. Would not be surprised. Yep, here they come. Those ASFs out from Zoom. They were just a little too slow. They were going to engage anyways. The Zoom definitely has the numbers here. Naberwasser should have just retreated, but tried to go for the win. That chicken bot does go down, and all of those ASFs are going to be wrapped up, giving T2 control over the skies. A huge band of T1 and a couple T2 and T3 Harbingers in this northern section trying to push on the main base of AT-AT. And like I said, this is the only way up. It provides a choke point here, here, and here. Multiple avenues of defense. We also have a huge wing of strap bombs over the top. ASFs are able to catch the early ones before those bombs land. They're going after the comm of AT-AT. 1 shield goes down. Another shield goes down. 1 bomb does impact AT-AT, but he will be fine. Looks like the ASFs mop up the rest of those strap bombers. Unfortunately for Zoom, Zoom should have probably screened with his ASFs first and then gone in with his bombers. That is definitely a unfortunate move. That would have been another kill for Team 2 on Team 1. Damage going down again. Economic damage being prioritied by Team 2, trying to reduce their generated eco. That's at 3.2k per second. I wasn't crazy. I saw it, but looks like that's reclaim related. Team 2 is ahead in the eco game. They're ahead by about 500 mass a second. That's a huge amount, and they are skyrocketing the totals accrued as well at about 65,000. forces out from Curly knocking on AT's door. I'm surprised to see him not on the front lines. He didn't take a lot of damage. And we do have a nuke out from the back line of Naberwasser, that Liberator strategic missile launcher. It looks like it is going for the secondary base or the original base of Dream. That T1 force, that force out from Curly has been neutralized, and the reclaim efforts are now underway. A couple surviving units are in the back line, but they're going to get mopped up by that gunship. That bomb does land. Let's see if we can get it in time. And boom. The cyber nuke is also not really that impressive. It's pretty much the same thing as the UEF. I will say Seraphim, beautiful designs, beautiful, like they're very artistic in the sense that they're very showy. They're very, again, very different than all of the like kind of very rectangular shapes of the UEF, the spiky shapes of the Cyberns, and the smooth, artistic styles of the Aeon. They're very like jagged, and they're all unique. Like the Oswasher experimental bomber, again, very unique. There's like parts that are literally floating next to each other, and again, you can tell with that chicken bot, like there are, like that head is floating, and like parts of the shoulder blade things are also floating, and it's just a very sharp and angular and very like a blade. Just very, very refined would be the way I put it. That T3 lander quarters is going down for Iruma, pretty much knocking them out of any offensive capabilities. A huge wing of ASFs, larger than the other one was earlier, catching some ASFs from Zoom unawares. We have more strap bombers built for him as well. We have a chicken bot and a Tsar built as well. And they are going to move in tandem, most likely pushing this western side. You can see this T1 land spam. Like, look at all those T1. Oh, there are some T2 units, those Ilshis in there. But look at all those T1 forces in formation. Look at that. Reminds me of like Roman or Greek or those very the Stone Age or Bronze Age forces. Battle lines where it's just a line, or even to like the American Revolution and colonial times, where like everyone lines up and then moves forward in columns. Today's very guerrilla warfare, and you know, lasers and drone strikes and all of that. So anyway, talking about military histories for a second, we have the Nano upgrade going down for Zoom and a T3 upgrade going down for Kinder. Looks like he's going mass fab farms out the wazoo. Would like to see a couple shields maybe over the main mass as well, because that is very volatile. Needing some more pigeons and upping that air. There's another. So we have 3 air grids. We have a small one here for Kinder. We have probably the biggest one out from Curly, and we have a smaller one out from the main air player of Zoom. And this Tsar is going to get hit by a bunch of ASFs. Gun tries to activate, try to catch some ASFs going through the middle. ASFs engaged. Would like to see this Tsar kind of at least pushed under the land a little bit, so if it dies, its mass can be recovered. ASFs come in again. This Tsar is going to go down, pretty much of no consequence, and that's definitely going to be a blow to Zoom. He's planning to use that for something, and Team 1 got a sniff of it and said, nope, that's not going to happen, and rightly killed it. But again, that mass is firmly in control of Team 1. He's building another one right here to the east. So again, that's something that can easily be reclaimed and then doubled into the coffers of Team 2. And the resource gathering, the reclaim is already underway. The chicken is like the commander of these forces, leading the charge. I'd like to see these T1 forces brought in to bear, and T2 as well. Orders are given, question mark. I don't know about that. There's also a Monkey Lord in the back line here as well, kind of hanging out with these bricks here. Unfortunately, because of the way this environment is designed, you can't sit here and attack this way. You have to further move out. Those counterintelligence bots were taken out fairly, not a good position right there. The chicken is literally tall enough to shoot those. So, looks like we have a wing of bombers. These T1 bombers out from Curly. Looking to try to soften up the defenses of Team 1. There's another Monkey Lord. About 75% completed. They're going after the Monkey Lord specifically, which you could probably go after maybe some defenses instead, but it's not the worst. You take out a shield, that's something, I guess. The chicken, its range is able to deal with a decent amount of these bricks, forcing them out of position. There is a couple T2 PD here in the mix. These Ilshis should not have charged in. They should have gone full bore for that Monkey Lord. And that laser opens up on that chicken bot. Who's going to die first? It's going to be the Monkey Lord most likely. And the Monkey Lord does go down. And these bricks are going to be able to help take care of a decent amount of these forces. Pretty much the only thing of worry for Team 1 is this chicken. They kill that, and that's about it. A Monkey Lord is about to finish, and pretty much will finish by the time that chicken gets there. That's definitely going to be a harder nut to crack. We also have some Whaler gunships over the top. Going to start dealing massive amounts of damage. Look at all those hit points just shed. They just shed off of that chicken in combination with that Monkey Lord, and it goes down. So pretty much just a mass gift for Team 1 from Team 2. It looks like we had a ejection. Looks like the comm Kiri had to go, I think. It's Russian, I can't read it. But there wasn't any bombs. There wasn't anything else to indicate that he was killed. He just left. So I don't feel that bad for missing it, just due to the fact that it wasn't like a strat bomber attack or something that did him in. These T1 hunters trying to get close, and that ion storm just eviscerated. Oh no, the Zui died. Oh no. Looks like Curly's forces were on a move, but they're going to get hemmed off by this Monkey Lord. There's a couple Harbingers in the mix, but I would just pull all of these forces back. There's no need for them to die to like deal half damage to a Monkey Lord. Save them up and use them for a different push. ASF's being built up for Kinder. Oh, yeah, and with the departure of Curly, it does make this match a 3v2 in favor of Team 2. And like I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, there's a bunch of strat bombers hovering around this western side of the map, and there's no SAM defenses along this western side. So if Team 1 doesn't notice it, which they don't, that's not going to go well for somebody on Team 2. How many strat bombers are in this mix, I wonder? There are, well, one got caught back there. So there's 12. Looks like ASF's sense something going on over there. They move into position over here. But they still don't see it. I do like they went all the way south just in case. And I would probably pull these two back first just to make sure all of them are together. Which, literally, as I say something, something happens. So it's good to know that I'm like totally not crazy about tactical moves here. I mean, the channel is called Strategic Launch, to be fair. Looks like they have attack orders for the main base. Oh, no, well, they're going for that air grid. Looks like Zoom is pulling back his forces. He still can't see them, mind you. And then he says, oh, what's over there? And he says, oh, look at this. I don't know what that was about. Because those strat bombers were not seen. Looks like, is any of them going to go launch their... Nope. Huh. I don't know what that was about. Answer down in the comments what happened with that. Like, Zoom could not see them and then thought, there's something there. And then intercepted that strat bomber rush. So, anyway, answer down in the comments about what happened there. We have the player of Kinder just taking pretty much this whole eastern side to themselves. All of that yellow on the eastern side. Not a lot of efforts on Zooms to just continuously build all the way across. You got to use the land that you have to your advantage. There's another nuke out from that Liberator. It looks like it's going for the secondary base, the base that was Iruma's. Here to the east, there's the chicken production going down, as well as some mass that's going to start trying to be claimed, but it's going to get blown up anyways. Chicken goes down, couple mass points go down. decent amount of these Othams go down, but a lot of them are EMP'd from that nearby explosion. We have a chicken. We have a monkey lord that's trying to do a run by, trying to do a thing. But there's more defenses here. A couple Othams in tow. A large number of SAMs have been just dotted around the map, preventing any real attacks from the air on this eastern side. And this monkey lord is being chased by these siege tanks. They're not going very fast, considering they're very slow. And but we do have a bunch of strats in from Zoom, and that's going to take care of the rest of the hit points for that monkey lord. That's pretty much a mass donation as well. So we've had a couple mass donations this game. I would have liked to see that monkey lord maybe be paired with that chicken bot and have both of them go in, but I'm not the one playing the game. So there's multiple SMDs being built. Oh, that's why. That's why we have a Yolana Os under construction. That explains all of the SAMs. At sub 40 minutes, we have a game ender on the cards. It's awesome to see that a player has said, okay, my idea for this game is I'm going to do this thing. So I'm going to prep all of these other things. So he's prepped a bunch of SAM defenses. He's prepped, a decent amount of ASFs in case he has bombers or gunships coming in. He has units on the ground kind of patrolling with some engineers just, hovering around mass and whatnot. He has a couple experimentals, again, to help the land defense. And he doesn't have to worry about Navy, so he's good there. His SMDs have already been built, multiple of them as well, just, passively building new anti-nukes. He is having power problems due to building this experimental missile launcher. But at least he already has 2 missiles in the clip, considering there is a nuke on Team 1's side. T3 underway for Iruma. They're pretty much knocked out of the game. They've built a T2 land headquarters with some power. Just trying to come back into the game. A couple Lobo spam as well. Trying to deal some economic damage. There's a fight breaking out against these 2 chickens versus these 2 chickens. And it looks like the 2 chickens and the other 2 chickens with the Autumn siege tanks are pretty much going to die to each other. It's pretty much mutual assured destruction over here. As one chicken falls, it deals damage to the next chicken, which deals damage to the next chicken, which will then deal damage to the final chicken. ASF's brought in for support against these gunships, and they are just going to get eviscerated by all this huge air force out from Kinder. Again, we have 1 air player out from Team 1. We also have an artillery out from the comm of Naberwasser next to his Liberator. Not necessarily the best place to put it, but it's at least under shield coverage, that's for sure. This disruptor 1 artillery isn't the end of the world, but if your air grid isn't shielded, then it's kind of, that's it. That's all she wrote kind of thing. RASCOM efforts to build, bulk up the eco for Zoom as well. Massive spy plane mission trying to see what's going on for this southern team for Team 2. And again, you got to know what's going on. You got to know what your opponent's planning, what's on the cards. They did not scout the Yolana Os, unfortunately. They do know something's being built. They just don't know what it is. They marked the comp of Naberwasser. There's another Yolana Os. Why are there 2? This is over 50%. And this one's almost done. You could actually have combined your mass and just built 1 and already launched like a couple nukes already. Like that's the one thing I don't understand sometimes is when players do the same strategy but don't communicate to each other, and they end up like 2 Yolana Osses are insane, to be fair. But you could have already had one by now, sub 40 minutes at least, maybe even sub 35 minutes. But you have all this eco between the 2 of you. I mean, Zoom having the majority of it, to be fair. But this one's almost done. Yours is, 3/4 of the way there. So you could have already, like I said, already had a couple nukes launched already. And the point of the game is to win the game. You don't have to win it as fast as possible, of course, but the faster you do it, the less infrastructure and units and stuff the opponent has built. So why wouldn't you try to finish the match as quickly as possible? And that chicken bot just trying to deter any units coming from this western approach from the player of AT-AT. Aruma still in it, still trying to fight, going for a fusion reactor and then going for most likely RASCOMs. But good to see that the player just didn't outright quit, still trying to fight it. Looks like they might have spotted that Yolanda. Yep, no, they don't know exactly what it is, but they know something's there. They're going for the mass, which isn't the worst idea on the planet. Some shells are, again, the accuracy isn't perfect on those T3 artillery. So you just gotta take what you can get, kind of thing. That Yolanda Os is almost done, and that Yolanda Os is done. So there's gonna be 2 Yolanda Os's sub pretty much 40, almost 45 minutes. That's insane. T2BT being built to try to deter any telemasers. Shields going up all the time. ASF's roaming the skies over here just to ensure no funny business happens. Will this nuke land? Let's see. One missile goes off, turns. The next missile comes out of that clip, and now that SMD is going to be empty, but it is about to build 1 missile, to be fair. So Team 1's probably thinking, how do we counter that Yolanda Oz? There's also an washer on the car. It's going to drop a bomb on that chicken. That chicken going to eat a bomb to the face. Oswasher, very pretty. Like I said, another bomb goes off, another nuke goes off from that same Yolanda Os. And it looks like this bomber is not on the cards for now. Being chased by all of these ASF. Being like, help me, help me. Oh, it goes down. Huge ASF engagement from the 3 air players. That is only going to go one way, of course, with Team 2 pulling out the air win. There's another ice washer almost constructed. You can see the percentage. Well, it's like 60%, 70%. A lot of his hit points have been taken out. They are going to see that. Oh, forgot to turn those back on. Apologies. Going to see that Yolanda Oz completed. Looks like shield coverage is starting to fail, which is surprising considering all of the shield coverage there. We have land spam out from these loyalists trying to break into Team 2's base, but all the defenses here, it's not really going to work out. That Yolanda Oz has completed, and another nuke launches. That is the 3rd super nuke out from those experimental missile launchers, and honestly, if Team 1 does not have an answer to that, they don't take any of those out, that is going to be game. Because now another one, there are currently 2 Yolanda Oz nukes in the air from the same team from different players. We also have strat bombers as well as that Oz washer in the corner protected by that ASF. We have another nuke. It's from the standard nuke launcher, that Liberator, out from Team 1. And that's just going to be nuclear devastation against Team 1. Would have liked to see that nuke gone somewhere else and just not targeted the same base, but that's going to pretty much claim the rest of AT-AT's original base. There is that SMD still alive, and the Oswasher is coming in again over the top. It's decently wounded, but at this point it doesn't really matter because nukes are landing all the time. And they turn all the icons off, and we turn off all the little dots and whatnot, and just watch as this nuke comes in from the heavens. The shields go down. Strat bombers over top taking out the artillery. Another bomb goes off from that experimental bomber, kills the comm of Naberwasser, and just leaving AT-AT and Urakun left for Team 1. And they come and take out Urakun and AT-AT. Control K's leaving the game. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. It was a little bit shorter than the other casts I have casted. Couple other casts I have, other games I have casted. Wow, I can't talk. But again, feel like, a bit of a shorter one for you guys today. Again, thank you so much for all of the time, all the eyeballs, all the attention, everything and anything that you guys do. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.